Welcome back. Today I am presenting my spring list. These are niche perfumes that I like to recommend for spring. I'll be presenting 10 fragrances and one honorable mention. Welcome back. My name is Glenn. I create all the content here at Mr. Cologne 76 on Instagram and on YouTube. This is where ordinary people discover extraordinary scents. I help people explore the world of niche perfumes. So we're getting into a spring list. Now these fragrances are in a particular order. However, the order doesn't really mean anything. I had to present them in one way or the other. I'll present the fragrances and kind of explain to you why they made it into this list. However, this isn't a full review. Let's hop on into the list. The honorable mention comes from the house of Sylvaine, Delacourte, and this is Osiris. This is a beautiful, beautiful orange blossom fragrance that I find very, very comforting. In fact, I often refer to this as my holy grail for the note of orange blossom. This could have easily been in my list, but I wanted to keep this list to 10 fragrances, so I didn't include it, but it's an honorable mention. This is Osiris. Again, I find this to be very, very comforting. Just orange blossom, honey, sage, benzoin, sandalwood, gaiac wood. Truly, truly a hidden gem in my collection. That's the honorable mention. We're going to get into the list. The first fragrance comes from the house of Via de Parfum, and this is Étoile Céleste. This is a French company, Via de Parfums, that I had the pleasure of meeting. Now, this is a company that started off with a foundation to help at-risk children in grass. This fragrance made it into my list because I find this perfect for spring. The reason why I find this fragrance perfect for spring is that it combines some powdery elements with fresher notes and floral notes, making it perfect for spring. A lot of powdery fragrances don't particularly smell great in the spring. I find them to be better in the winter and the fall. But this house was able to create something that I thought was very, very appropriate for the spring. Again, this has powdery notes, bergamot, jasmine, violet, orange blossom, and rose. Étoile Céleste. This is from the house of Via de Parfum, and this is number 10 on my spring list. We're going to get into the second fragrance, and this fragrance comes from the house of Lubin. This is Attique, one of my favorite fig fragrances. This is truly another hidden gem in my collection. If you love the note of fig in perfumes, then you should really, really check out Attique. Now, what I really like about Attique is that even with fig, there's a green element to this fragrance, making it so, so perfect for spring with a subtle woodiness. This composition includes C note, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, basil. That's the green note that I was mentioning. Orange blossom, fig, solar notes, and cedar. I really, really like Attique in spring. In fact, when I smell this fragrance, for some reason, I think of New York City, Fifth Avenue. They have all the tulips in the boulevard. And for some reason, when I smell this fragrance, that is what comes to mind. All right. Number 9 on my list from the house of Lubin. This is Attique. Let's move into number 8 on my list. This is From the Heart, one of my favorite houses, relatively unknown in the fragrance community. To some people, this is Alghabra Perfumes, and this is From the Heart. Alghabra, I think their collection is up to 12 fragrances. They had a collection of fragrances first, and then a few years later, they released another set of collections. From the Heart is a beautiful fragrance that I like to wear in the spring. So what's From the Heart like? Well, this has fruit and floral elements. The fruit note being peach, the floral notes being lily and ylang ylang and damask rose. This list amber as a note. However, to me, I get a beautiful white musk that has tremendous sillage. I really, really enjoy From the Heart of My Lady. In fact, I like it on her more than I like it on myself, but I still wear From the Heart, and I think it's an excellent fragrance to explore in the spring if you are looking for some new fragrances to wear. We're getting into number 7 out of 10, and this is Eclat de Joie from the house of Plume Impression. I really, really love this fragrance, and I think it's best for spring. Now, what is Eclat de Joie about? Well, what they did here is they combined some subtle spices and some florals. There's coriander, there's black pepper, combined with some florals. This has orris, galbanum, jasmine, ginger, and it sits on vetiver and musk. This is truly a unique fragrance. I don't think I have another fragrance that smells like this. And again, when I smell this fragrance, in my mind, this is something most suitable for spring. We are moving along to number 6. This is a special fragrance. In fact, I wore this recently and I was like, how come I didn't notice certain things about this fragrance? This is Between Two Trees from the house of Floraïku. Beautiful presentation. I know I did an unboxing video of this once, but their presentation, the caps, they also work as holders for their travel sprays. So when you buy the full presentation, you also get a special travel atomizer that you can stick into this cap and you can take with you. What makes Between Two Trees so special for me is a beautiful vetiver that's just long lasting. This has a simple composition of grapefruit, vetiver, and mate. It's a tea note. I had to look that up. Mate is a tea note, and I know I sprayed a scent strip before I kicked this off. This fragrance, it has a very smoky presence. In fact, when I smelt this on a scent strip, I'm always tempted to say that there's tobacco in here. There's no tobacco listed. Doesn't mean it's not in here, but this is very smoky. In fact, this is so smoky, it almost smells like you lit a match, you put it out, and you still had some of that smoke on your hand as you're smelling the scent strip. Again, beautiful vetiver that's so appropriate for spring. The use of the tea notes and the grapefruit makes this a hit for me, and it's super long lasting. Love the dry down. We're moving on. We're getting into number 5. This is a beautiful bouquet from the house of El Orchestre. This is Bouquet Encore. All right, Bouquet Encore from the house of El Orchestre Parfums. All right, this is a beautiful bouquet. There's tuberose, there's jasmine. But what they did is, in the beginning of this, there's a Szechuan pepper note that just really makes this interesting. It sits on musk and vanilla. This is not the most groundbreaking fragrance, but it's such a well-orchestrated, well-executed floral bouquet that I had to include it on this list. If you love florals, if you love jasmine, if you love tuberose minus the indolic facets, this is something you should check out. All right. Now, I love jasmine. I love tuberose. I also really love when they get dirty, but this is more of a clean jasmine and tuberose with that Szechuan pepper in the beginning. This is a real hit for me. I really enjoy wearing this. It has huge compliment factor and, once again, decent performance. The next fragrance comes from the house of Parfums de Mali. This is a new release. This is new to my collection, and this is Delina La Rosée. If you follow my page closely, you know I recently did a post in which I explained how I incorporate all 3 Delinas into my fragrance wardrobe. Delina La Rosée is a winner for me. This fragrance smells very transparent. I think the branding, if you look at this bottle, you can see the juice in the bottle. It's pink, but it's transparent, and that is the vibe that you get from this fragrance. It has lychee, bergamot, peony. Turkish rose is a very big component of Delina La Rosée. White musk, Haitian vetiver in the base. Again, this has tremendous performance for such a sheer fragrance. I've worn this a number of times. I put my money where the juice is. This definitely has good performance for such a light fragrance. The next fragrance on the list is an indie perfume. This was such a real big hit for me when I discovered it. This is Pearfecto from the house of Gallagher Perfumes. Again, this was a tremendous fragrance. I still remember the first day I wore this fragrance, driving to work and just thinking that someone may have sprayed the inside of my car with this fragrance. It had tremendous sillage. The scent bubble was massive. Now, this fragrance is called Pearfecto, which I think is a little bit of a play on the name. I don't think this is much about pear as it is about tea. It has a champaka note in here. I think it's Indian champaka that dominates this fragrance. The inspiration for Pearfecto is having a tropical fruit drink at a beach, at an ocean side somewhere. Now, what you get with Pearfecto is you get that amazing champaka note that smells like a nice quality tea. Imagine if you purchased a nice quality tea. I'm talking something that came in a can. You had to open it. It was double sealed and you took a whiff. That's what this smells like. However, you're by the seaside. So what he did here was he combined this with driftwood and ambergris to really create that joyous seaside environment. Again, less about pear to me and more about the tea notes and the seaside environment. This is Gallagher Perfume Pearfecto, number 3 on my list of 10 fragrances. I am afraid we only have 2 fragrances left. This comes from a house that I seldom hear about, and this is Anima Vinci. This is Sesame Chan. All right, this fragrance is super unique, super special. First of all, this is one of the best ginger fragrances in my collection. Ginger is a note, in my opinion, that can go horribly wrong if done incorrectly. Anima Vinci did a remarkable job of using ginger in Sesame Chan. Now, it's not all about ginger in this fragrance. This fragrance also contrasts with the ginger. You have some nutty elements of hazelnut and sesame that makes this a freaking winner in my book. Now, what else is in Sesame Chan? There's carrot, there's vetiver, and there's cedar. So it has a gentle wood, slightly smoky base. But again, the ginger, the sesame, the hazelnut, the way those elements contrast creates a lot of dynamic. It's easy to wear. As you can see, I've put a significant dent on this, not just because I wear it a lot. Wifey also wears this one a lot, but I've also shared this with a lot of my followers because I think it's a hidden gem that people don't necessarily know about. Last on the list comes from the house of the Zoo NYC. This is Christophe Laudemel's brand, and this is Rhubarb My Love, my holy grail. And you know, I had to wear a shirt that also matched this bottle. Okay, my holy grail for the note of rhubarb. This is an excellent fragrance. It has tremendous performance. Super tangy. It's green, it's fruity, and it's unmistakably rhubarb. If you enjoy rhubarb, if you like fragrances like Delina, I highly recommend getting a sample of this. I don't think anyone should ever go and blind buy anything. Even if Mr. Cologne 76 says he believes in it, you should still sample a fragrance. Make sure that it works for you. But this is a remarkable fragrance with incredible performance. Number 1 on my list is Rhubarb My Love from the house of the Zoo. This is Christophe Laudemel. That concludes my list of 10 fragrances that I think work great in the springtime. Once again, I don't always relegate fragrances to a particular season. These fragrances were based on my experiences here in Dallas, Texas. If you enjoyed this list and you want to see more lists like this, please leave a comment. Let me know which other types of lists you would like to see on my platform. I'm going to wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm out.